Good morning. I just recently got a new knife from Winkler knives. It's their recent release. About a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, they released a rubber handle collection. It was the drop point crusher, the utility knife, and the Woodsman. And I just happened to get lucky and bought the Woodsman. I'm going to be doing a brief just comparison about the knife, the Woodsman, to the belt knife. I have the belt knife in green sculpted micarta right here. And yeah, it's just a comparison to show you like my two knives that I would probably go to for like task and defensive purposes. Let's just show you the belt knife here. I've had this one for about 2 years now, and I've used it on a lot of different things, just showing off the sharpness and cutting fishing line when I go out to the lake, or just very minuscule things, nothing drastic or anything. But yeah, this is the belt knife, right? I mean the Woodsman. This is the Woodsman. Sorry about that. It's got the rubber handle. Happened to get lucky getting it. I know I follow the Winkler knives page on Instagram, and someone commented on their post of the rubber handles, and they asked how come they don't produce the rubber handles, like make it a staple in always keep it in stock, always in production. And the person that operates the Winkler knives page said that it's because the tires make the environment smell really bad, and that maybe, or not maybe, but the rubber makes a mess. And I'm sure that's probably because, you melt rubber, it's pretty tough tire rubber, and probably got exposed to some really high heat or moderate heat to the point that it melts and it can be shaved and stuff. And I remember I used to work in medical waste disposal. It smelled pretty bad when it would get hot there from like we would get containers that had blood in them. It smelled like hot blood, and it was funky, but I could imagine the smell of burning tires in the facility. You probably get a headache after a while. So that's one reason why Winkler knives doesn't really produce them as often. But yeah, the design is very different in them. This one definitely, the thumb ramp right there, it's probably about the same as the thumb ramp on this one, the belt knife. Definitely not as pretty. It's very simple serrations on them, whereas this has like the serrations plus like those little, more like an indent or a divot, if you will. Lends off a pretty nice design on the belt knife. You can see it's pretty tapered. It's more of a tactical design. I think that was Winkler's intent for special operations, was to come up with a tactical defensive tool, and that's kind of why I opted for that one, as I might have mentioned, for the defensive purposes and stuff. I'm more in the city and urban areas than I am in the outdoors. I don't have a vehicle for that. Plus, it's pretty far out from where I stay from. So, but I bought this one because, I mean, I do it seldomly and stuff. I'll go to the lake and fish, or I'll hike, and this is a cool knife for all that, just in case, you do come across like some outdoors activities and stuff, or you do plan on it. Yeah, it's a very nice knife. I can see why it's sought after, like the rubber. It's real tacky, very much more than this. Like this, well, this I actually put the beeswax on it, the Wicked Wax by Winkler, or the one that comes with it. Yeah, I put some on it, so it looks it feels a lot more slick than when it's clean. But yeah. But this right here just feels totally locked in. And when you put your finger up against the ramp like that, you can definitely feel how like pressing in it makes it more comfortable, you know, maybe shaving some wood, or if you need I could imagine this can be used for like hunting as well. I think it's got a good hunting design. I have a friend who's pretty privy when it comes to blades and stuff, and he told me that that value right there is really good for like skinning. That makes kind of a difference and stuff. And a lot of knives that I've seen marketed as like a hunting knife, yeah, they do somewhat have that. Like the buck knife. The buck knife is a hunting knife. And yeah, for the most part, a bigger portion of the top part of the blade of the buck knife is for hunting. And this one has a little bit of it, maybe not so much as that one, but I mean, it's kind of there. You can definitely prep food. I know people baton with these knives and stuff. This has got pretty thick spine to do that. So it'll probably absorb a lot of the impact or the force and energy from a piece of wood and then direct it right into chopping another piece of wood. Whereas this one will probably kind of like, I don't know, have the opposite like effect. It'll probably just kind of maybe damage the wood you're batoning with. And this is a nice piece right here for just that. Won't lose your grip. You need to cut something that's pretty textured. I mean, you got something where your thumb's gonna lock in, you can cut it. Got a lanyard loop right there at the top and the crusher at the bottom if you need a hammer or something. Yeah, I fully intend to use this knife. I might sell it in the future if something does come up, but I really don't like to think of things like this, like that. I know they do carry their value, but you know, stuff like this is something that's kind of like, I would kind of see a knife of this caliber and anything similar to this, like the Miller Bros blades, or I don't know if anyone's ever heard of that Italian company, Extrema Ratio. Yeah, stuff like this, they have value because like in a situation like where everyone, you know, the rug was pulled from under their feet with COVID, you know, and everyone started buying firearms off the market and stuff. You know, this is the same thing. Like it has its purpose in like an emergency situation. Like a knife, you will need things like this. They're straight up tools. That's why they send the military over with tools like this and stuff. And that's the value I see in things like this. I'm in no way like, I don't want to like sound like that's the main point here, but like wealthy or anything to like afford things like this or a huge collection of these, but I definitely am like seeing why these have their value, and it's because like they do hold up. They do hold up, and they feel good. They have their purposes, and yeah, they can be life-saving. Police officers have them. They carry them every day, and I think as civilians we should have them every day too, whether it's a little pocket knife or or something like this. Like I said, I carry this every day. I carry this bout knife every day, even though it's pretty big and stuff. I mean, I've heard this saying, like a big knife can do everything a small knife can do. So, I mean, this isn't too huge, but it's concealable. So this will do perfect outdoors. Next time I go camping, I'll try to get a video in of that and just show it to you guys some more. In use on wood, building a fire, making my food. I don't use gun oil on my knives. I use olive oil or the Wicked Wax. I do use my knives for food, and I clean them often too. Clean them very, very often. Yeah, that crusher's dope. Just flip it over right here. Thank you for watching.